You see, when it comes to love, words are easy. Anybody can say, I like you, or you're special to me. But real feelings, they don't hide in the mouth. They reveal themselves through actions. If you want to know if a guy is falling for you, don't just listen to the sweet things he says. Watch what he does when no one is telling him to. Love doesn't announce itself with grand speeches. It whispers in the details of his behavior. A man who's falling for you will make time for you. Even when his schedule is packed, even when life pulls him in 100 different directions, somehow he finds a way to be there. Maybe it's a 5-minute call just to hear your voice before he sleeps. Maybe it's canceling a night out with his friends because he knows you need someone to lean on. These are not random acts. These are the invisible signs that his heart is already starting to choose you. When a guy truly likes you, your happiness becomes his quiet mission. Without you even asking, he'll notice when you're tired, when you're stressed, when you just need someone to stand beside you without judgment. He'll offer small gestures, bringing you your favorite coffee without making a big show about it, sending you a random meme because he knows it'll make you laugh on a tough day. He doesn't do it for attention or praise. He does it because seeing you smile makes him feel like he's winning at life. Consistency is one of the loudest signals you can ever receive. If a man is serious about you, he's not hot today and cold tomorrow. He doesn't leave you wondering where you stand. He doesn't play games. You don't have to decode mixed signals or question his intentions at midnight. Because when a man is falling for you, he brings a steady presence into your life. He becomes the one you can count on, not just when things are easy, but especially when they're not. And then there's the effort, genuine effort. Not just on the days when he's in a good mood or when he feels like it, but continuous intentional effort to deepen the connection between you. He'll ask real questions. He'll want to know about your dreams, your fears, the things that shaped you long before he ever met you. He'll remember details, the name of your childhood pet, your favorite song on rainy days, the way you light up when you talk about your goals. And he won't just remember them to impress you. He'll remember because they matter to him, because you matter to him. In a world full of distractions, where attention spans are short and hearts are guarded, a man who is falling for you will make you feel like you are the only priority when he's with you. His phone will stay in his pocket when you're talking. His eyes will focus on you, not on every notification or every passing distraction. He'll show you in 1,000 little unspoken ways that your presence is more interesting, more valuable, more beautiful than anything else demanding his attention. The truth is, when a man is falling for you, you won't need to beg for his time, you won't have to chase his attention, and you won't ever feel like an afterthought. His actions will make you feel chosen every single day without needing to ask for it. Because real affection, real connection doesn't make you guess, it makes you feel safe, seen, and cherished. If you pay close attention, his actions will reveal everything his heart is trying to say. It's easy to talk, anyone can carry a conversation, but when a man is genuinely interested in you, I mean truly falling for you, he doesn't just listen to your words, he listens to your heart. You can feel it in the way he locks into the moment when you're speaking, like the whole world has paused just to hear you. His focus shifts from everything else to you, and suddenly you're not just talking, you're being heard. Now, there's a difference between hearing and listening. Hearing is passive, it's background noise, but listening, real, intentional listening, is active love. It says, I care enough to slow down and understand you. That's what a man does when he's falling. He's not looking for the next thing to say. He's not interrupting or drifting off mid-sentence. He's engaged, fully present, and completely tuned in to what matters to you. And here's the beautiful part. He remembers not just the big things like your career goals or your family situation, but the tiny details most people overlook. You could mention once in passing how much you love the smell of fresh rain on asphalt, and weeks later, he brings it up with a smile. That's not coincidence. That's interest. That's emotional investment. When a man is falling, he holds onto your words like they're treasures, because in his mind, everything you say is worth remembering. He'll ask follow-up questions. He'll bring up things you said before, not to quiz you, but to connect more deeply. Maybe you told him about your childhood dream of becoming a writer, and later he sends you a quote about storytelling or asks if you're still pursuing it. These are not generic gestures. They're rooted in listening with intention. listening because he genuinely wants to understand what shaped you, what moves you, and what still lives inside your heart. A man who's falling for you will also listen during your silences. He can tell when you're quiet, not because you have nothing to say, but because something's weighing on you. And instead of brushing it off or distracting you with something superficial, he creates space for you to open up. He says, without words, I'm here. Take your time. I care about what you're not saying too. And that kind of presence is rare. In a world full of noise and distraction, where people often wait their turn to speak instead of truly absorbing what's being said, a man who listens with patience and empathy is showing something deeper than charm. He's showing love. And love starts with paying attention to the soul behind the smile. You'll notice he doesn't just remember facts, he remembers how things made you feel. He recalls the story you told about your worst day and how it still lingers in your spirit. He'll say things like, I've been thinking about what you said last week. Are you okay? That kind of attentiveness isn't surface level. It's emotional intimacy. It's vulnerability meeting care. And it only comes from someone who's building something more than a moment, someone who's building a connection. Because when a guy listens to you this way, he's not just trying to get closer to your body, he's trying to get closer to your soul. That's the kind of listening that reveals his feelings more clearly than any grand declaration ever could. So when you speak and he listens not just with his ears, but with his eyes, his energy, and his heart, pay attention. Because that's not just a sign he likes you. That's a sign he's already falling. You can learn a lot about how someone feels about you just by noticing where they choose to be. Because when a man is falling for you, he won't just say he cares. He'll show it through his desire to be near you. And it won't feel forced or calculated. It'll feel effortless, like being around you brings him a kind of peace he didn't even know he was searching for. He'll look for reasons to spend time with you. Maybe it's simple. He offers to help with errands, suggests grabbing coffee after work, or volunteers to walk you home, even if it's out of his way. But those small choices aren't meaningless. They are signs. Because a man who's falling for you doesn't need grand excuses to be around you. He just wants to be close. Your presence becomes his comfort zone, his favorite place to land when the world feels overwhelming. And the way he moves around you, it changes. Watch closely. He might lean in just a little more than necessary when you talk. He'll angle his body toward you even in a group setting. His shoulder brushes yours in a way that feels natural but not accidental. When a man is emotionally drawn to you, he'll try to close the physical space between you, not because he's being pushy, but because his instincts are guiding him closer. It's not about lust. It's not just physical attraction. It's emotional gravity. When a man is falling, being around you feels right. He'll linger a little longer when it's time to say goodbye. He won't rush the moment. He'll find reasons to stretch out time with you, even if it's just one more minute, one more conversation, one more laugh. Because every extra second with you feels like something he doesn't want to lose. And there's something powerful in the way he notices you. When you walk into a room, his eyes instinctively search for yours. Even if he's surrounded by other people, somehow he orbits around you. He'll move closer without even realizing he's doing it. It's in those subtle shifts, standing beside you instead of across the room, choosing the seat next to you without hesitation, that his heart speaks the loudest. Sometimes he'll use any excuse to touch, light touches on your hand, your back, your arm. Respectful, thoughtful, and brief, but still intentional. These are small ways he's trying to communicate comfort, interest, and connection. He's not invading your space. He's inviting you into his. And if you ever pull away physically or emotionally, you'll notice something else. He'll notice immediately. That little change in energy won't go unseen. A man who's falling for you is attuned to your vibe. He'll sense when something's off and gently try to bring you closer again. Not out of control, not out of fear, but out of a sincere desire to stay connected. The truth is, proximity is a powerful language. And when a man starts seeking it with you, without fanfare, without being told, he's telling you everything his words might not be able to express. He wants to be where you are. He wants to feel your presence, hear your laugh, watch the way you move through your day. That closeness isn't just about being physically near, it's about feeling emotionally safe, seen, and drawn in. So if he's always finding his way back to your side without you having to ask, don't overlook it. That's not coincidence, that's connection. And connection like that means something real is growing. When a man is falling for you, something shifts inside him, not just emotionally, but instinctively. It's not just about attraction or romance anymore. It becomes about something deeper, something protective. A man who truly cares starts to feel a quiet responsibility for your well-being, not because he thinks you're weak, but because he sees your value and he wants to guard it. He wants to make sure you feel safe, respected, and never alone in this world. Well, you'll notice this in the small ways at first. Maybe he walks you to your car at night without you asking. Maybe he checks in when you're not feeling well or reminds you to eat when you've had a stressful day. These gestures might seem small on the surface, but they speak volumes. He's not doing them out of obligation. He's doing them from the heart. Because when a man starts falling in love, your peace becomes his quiet mission. He doesn't just want to be near you, he wants to be a source of safety, emotionally, mentally, even spiritually. He wants you to know that no matter what storms are happening in your life, he's a steady place you can come home to. He wants to be the person you can cry in front of without feeling embarrassed. The one who sees your messy side and doesn't flinch. That's how you know it's real. When he embraces not just your best, but your worst and never tries to use it against you. And here's something rare. When a man is genuinely falling, he will respect your boundaries. Not just your physical ones, but your emotional ones too. He won't push you to move faster than you're ready for. He won't play with your feelings just to see how far he can go. Instead, he'll honor the pace you set. That kind of patience is a reflection of something pure, a desire to build something that lasts, not just something that excites in the moment. He'll also support your dreams, not just with his words, but with his presence. He'll encourage your growth. He'll ask questions about your passions, celebrate your wins, and stand beside you when things get hard. He won't feel intimidated by your strength. He'll be inspired by it. Because a man who's falling for you doesn't compete with your light. He protects it. He helps you shine even brighter. And when you're not in the room, his loyalty doesn't waver. If someone disrespects you or speaks your name in vain, he defends you like you're standing right there. That kind of protection, that unwavering respect, that's the sign of a man who's emotionally invested. You'll never have to worry about what he says behind your back because his love is consistent even in your absence. Most importantly, you'll feel it in your soul. His energy, his presence, his actions, they create an atmosphere of trust, of peace. You don't feel anxious wondering where you stand. You don't feel like you have to prove yourself to be worthy of his attention. He makes you feel safe to be you, safe to be soft, safe to be strong, safe to simply exist without needing to shrink or perform. Because when a man is falling for you, he doesn't just want to win your heart, he wants to protect it. One of the clearest signs a man is falling for you is this. He starts talking about the future, and without even realizing it, you're in it. And not just occasionally, not just as a maybe, but as part of the very foundation of where he sees his life going. It's subtle at first, a random comment about a trip he wants to take. But instead of saying, I want to go to Italy someday, he says, we should go to Italy someday. That one word, we, it changes everything. That's not something men say by accident. That kind of language slips out when their heart is already making space for someone long term. When he says we, what he's really saying is, I want you with me, not just now, but later too. And it's in those small, unplanned moments where his true feelings reveal themselves, because the future becomes a place he no longer imagines alone. You'll hear it in how he talks about life goals too. He'll start to include you in his thoughts about where he wants to live, the kind of home he wants to build, the kind of life he envisions. Not just in a romantic way, but in a deeply practical one. He'll ask what you want, not just what you want in a partner, but what you want in your life, your career, your family, your values. Because he's not just thinking about whether he likes you, he's thinking about whether he and you can build together. So that's how you know it's different. Because a man who's falling doesn't just daydream about love. He plans for it. He considers it. He takes it seriously. When he's thinking about making moves, changing cities, taking risks, he starts weighing those decisions, not just for himself, but with you in mind. And that shift is powerful because it means you've become part of the equation that defines his direction. He may even begin to open up about deeper parts of himself, fears, dreams, longings. Because when a man sees you in his future, he starts showing you the parts of him that only belong in deep, lasting relationships. The kind of stuff that doesn't come up in casual dating, the kind of vulnerability that says, I trust you with more than just my present. I trust you with who I'm becoming. You'll also notice he asks you real questions, the kind that dig beneath the surface. He's not just trying to entertain conversation. He wants to know what you want in 5 years. He wants to know how you feel about commitment, about children, about living abroad or starting a business. Because he's already wondering, can our lives fit together? Can we grow in the same direction? And he doesn't just dream with you, he includes you. If he's invited to a wedding, he wants you by his side. If there's a family gathering, he's thinking about introducing you. If he gets a promotion or has a big decision to make, you're the first person he wants to talk to. That's not casual. That's not coincidence. That's someone whose heart has already started building a home where your name is carved into the door. When a man is falling for you, the future stops feeling like a question mark. It starts feeling like a conversation he wants to have. And every time he talks about tomorrow, he's quietly letting you know that he hopes you'll be in it. There's something undeniable about the way a man looks at you when he's falling in love. It's not just a glance. It's not just about attraction. It's a gaze that feels like it sees beneath the surface, like it's trying to memorize everything about you. Not just your face, but your essence. There's a softness in his eyes, a stillness, like time slows down every time you walk into the room. And even if he doesn't say a word, his look says everything. Because when a man is falling for you, his eyes follow you not out of habit, but out of admiration. He watches you the way someone watches a sunrise, not just because it's beautiful, but because it reminds him that something this real and this pure actually exists. And that's how you'll know. It's not lust, it's not infatuation, it's a quiet reverence. He's seeing something in you he doesn't see anywhere else, and he knows it. You'll catch him watching you when you're not even doing anything special. Maybe you're talking to someone else, laughing, completely unaware, and there he is, just watching. Not in a possessive way, not in a territorial way, but in a way that says, I can't believe I get to witness her like this. It's in those unguarded moments that his emotions spill through the cracks in his expression. Because when a man is falling, he doesn't always have the words, but his eyes will tell the truth. And the moment your eyes meet his, you'll feel it. That pause, that spark, that deep, unspoken connection that hangs in the air. It doesn't matter how loud the room is. In that moment, it's like it's just the two of you. That look says, I see you, I feel you, I'm here for you. And the more it happens, the more undeniable it becomes. You've touched something in him that's waking up the part of his heart that was once asleep. He won't always know how to explain it. In fact, he might try to play it cool, look away quickly, or pretend he wasn't staring. But that's because his feelings are catching up to him. And feelings this deep don't always arrive with confidence. Sometimes they arrive quietly, through long glances, nervous smiles, and the way he lights up when your name is mentioned. It's also in how he looks at you when you're vulnerable, when you're sad, tired, or not at your best, and he still looks at you like you're the most important thing in the world. That's love. That's depth. That's a man who's seeing beyond the surface and falling for your soul. Because a man can look at 100 women and forget them by morning. But when he looks at you, and it lingers, when it reaches into something deeper and stays with him long after you've gone, that's when you know it's real. That's when you know his heart has already started choosing you, even before he's found the courage to say it out loud. So don't underestimate the power of his gaze, because sometimes the eyes reveal what the mouth is still afraid to speak. And when he looks at you like that, you don't have to ask how he feels.